Hello, my name is Calvin Moore. This is Team Joystick's submission for assignment B2 Industry Creative Response. I hope I got that right. This is our game that we made. It's called Pubert Pranks the Prince. It should meet all of the brief specifications. So this is your main menu. You've got rain ambience in the background. You can hit this button and it'll delete your save data. Obviously, there's a pause menu to get back here later. If you hit the credits, you'll see that it was made by Adam Eskert, Calvin Moore, Luke Jamieson Walker, and Peter Newlands. Pardon me. This is all of the roles that we all filled and all of these sourced assets. Everything stated here should be correct. Double checked, triple checked. They're all free assets for non-commercial use. Yep, these are the fonts, and there was a song that was created by a friend, William Ridsdale, for use in the project, and I state what was used there. So, quit button does what you'd expect. I'm not going to show that because the game takes too long to launch on my computer. So when I hit start, it'll put you in the arcade. So, as you can see, you've got health in the top left corner. You're just a third-person character who can move around this environment. Every time you approach something that can be interacted with, this particle will show up at the top. So I can't actually interact with that at the moment because I don't have the key for the padlock. There's a bunch of shelves here that I'll get back to later. Bunch of just unplayable arcade cabinets where you can't do anything to interact with them. And to try and draw the player towards the one that they can actually interact with, it's got a big white light that shows up everywhere and it plays music when you get close to it. So if I hit E, I will go into the game. This is the main menu. The music was made by Luke in our team. This is your tutorial section, so it goes over how to play. You've got WASD to move, left shift to roll, these to shoot the spell, sign to the start. People will look at the cursor, so that's how you aim. All spells have cooldowns. If the spell has a little progress bar at the top of it, you have to wait before you use it again. Your roll ability also has a cooldown, and it'll make sure that you don't take damage for a small amount of time. You get to choose 4 unlocked spells at the beginning of the game to play with. They can be unlocked by playing through the game, but you will always start with 1. To select a spell, you've got to drag the icon from one of the slots to the bottom of the screen, and then you hit play and it will launch you back into the thing. You cannot select any spells that are already unlocked to add to your loadout at any point. You would have to die and come back. Every time that you collect enough XP orbs and fill a little bar that you'll see later, you get a choice between 2 spells or 1 spell to unlock. All of these spells have different effects on the enemies. There's XP orbs, which fill up the thing, and this is a healing orb, so XP orbs are orange, healing orbs are green. You've got skeletons, these are your enemies, so I'll go into depth here. Skeletons just move around the map and they'll throw bones at you. They will always look at you and they're really slow but do heavy damage if you're not careful. Luckily, they can get defeated easily because most of them didn't get enough calcium as they were alive. Bullet wizards will move around the arena while looking directly at you. Instead of bones, they summon 3 red balls of arcane malice to attack you. They can be distinguished from other wizards by the red aura that surrounds them. These are bullet turrets, so they will rise from the ground and shoot around 30 projectiles in a spiral pattern around themselves before they sink back to where they came from. These are the imps. They want nothing more than your spell book and they'll stop at nothing to get it. They're fast, do not care if they lose their life as long as they get the greasy little mitts on your book. If they reach Pubert, they'll take the book and you'll lose your ability to cast spells. You have to punch them like throw hands to get the book back and to be able to use spells again. There's column wizards. Wizards spawn in and they have they'll summon 4 little auras of beams that shoot up through the ground. And yeah, they do pretty heavy damage. They can be distinguished from the other wizards because they've got a nice little green aura. The Dungeon Master is the big boss that you encounter after 7 waves of enemies. It's the head of the arena, and he can only be fought after you prove yourself. First, he moves towards you slowly and tries to hit you with the big battle axe. Yeah, but you can attack him often because he will stop to taunt you and scream to assert dominance. His second effect, he won't take any damage from status effects, or no status effects will actually affect him, and so he summons the bullet turrets around the map. He'll summon bullet turrets around the map, sorry, to try and get you knocked out. When you get a secret amount of points, or you beat the boss, and die, you'll see a button that appears up here, and you'll be given a magical object back in the real world. There are 4 to collect. And overtime. After defeating a boss, you will trigger overtime. The enemies hit harder, the rewards are more plentiful, and in general, things are way more chaotic. We hope you enjoy our game and have a good time playing Pubert Pranks the Prince. So as you can see, you can only... There's only those. Exit game just takes you back here. There's a pause menu, so you can exit to title, you can view the controls if you don't know them. Blah, 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 blah. But basically, I'll actually start the game this time. So you always begin with the ice bolt. That's your base kit for the game. You can move around and you can dodge. So might not be that talkative during the game playthrough because I'm not that good at the game, so I need to actually make sure that I can still reach the boss and show what happens in the rest of it. Firebolt. Like I was saying before, each spell has like elemental effects. Obviously you can choose any of them. The little animation where the book opens, that only happens if you select a spell to unlock. So obviously there I got a health upgrade. Losing a lot of health. Yeah, on wave 2, so after you fill a certain amount of, after you get a certain amount of points, the round will change, so it'll tell you what wave you're on always at the top. Oh, I should walk through the spells. Basically, bolts are just small little projectiles that do a little bit of damage. I'll pick that just because I'll need to walk through that. Do a little bit of damage, upon impact. You've got your ball spells, or your explosion spells, which are basically area of effect, so when you chuck it down, it does damage based on how close they were to it. Oh, there's one of the imps. It's actually quite useful. Yeah, as you saw there, the whip pulls an enemy towards you, and then deals a lot of damage to it. So, you know. I'm on wave 3. Yeah, I'll take that. There isn't a set order to when you get the spells. It's all based on chance. But by the time that you reach a certain level, you will have all of the spells. Just because that's how it's coded. Oh, I missed with the whip. The whip has quite a small hitbox because it pretty much acts as a one-hit KO for like anything that does get hit with it. Which obviously is pretty... It's not very good when it's in crowds or anything, but it's pretty good when you need just one enemy dead, you know? I'm gonna go Dark Ball. Dark Ball's quite useful. Place... No, I'll just use it. Health orbs are quite hard to come by because, oh, for goodness sakes, because basically they have a lower chance of spawning from an enemy's corpse, lower chance of spawning from an enemy's corpse than an XP orb does. So obviously not as many of them spawn, so you don't gain as much health. Hopefully to keep the game feeling hard, and not too easy. The beams do a lot of damage, which is why there's such a large time that they take to spawn, because otherwise we're worried that it might be too harsh. Oh, I hit myself with that. It's quite embarrassing, actually. Let's see. Man. Yeah, I'm not doing too well, honestly. Probably need to start again. Right, I got a beam spell. Beam spells, you can only have one beam spell per loadout. So that's because they're really quite powerful. They can basically chomp down an entire enemy's health bar in just seconds. So we tried to make sure that you couldn't just, get a unlimited supply of them. Oh, I died. So, this one I'm going to call myself Cobb. My cat's off slightly off. You can't really see it that clearly against the bright background, but it will tell you your high score, it'll tell you all that stuff. So this time I'm going to go with, hopefully a better loadout. I'll take Ice Bolt. We're going to try and get to the boss. There are 4... Yeah, sometimes this just happens. There are 4 types of rewards you can get. So, there are 4 rewards you can get from getting a high enough score in-game. Sorry if there's not much commentary while I'm playing. It does require at least a little bit of focus to actually avoid the enemies. So I'm trying my best. I'd say the game's quite hard. I haven't shown overtime mode yet, which gets way harder than this. Oh, okay. So yeah, as I was saying before, you can't have more than one beam. But we'll actually take thunder over ice. Okay, so this is the Dungeon Master, this is the boss. Basically, whenever the boss starts spawning, no other enemies are allowed to respawn. So I'll just quickly... He plays that little music cue to build up the, hopefully the tension of facing him, because he is like the big boss at this level. I'm just defeating all of the smaller enemies first, so that it's not as like hard to fight him. Because obviously, you know. But basically, if I do this, so his first attack, basically what he'll do is he'll stop and he'll swing his axe at you. There's a chance that instead of moving, he'll do a scream afterwards. Like that. Which obviously, you know, that gives you a chance to attack. So as soon as he gets below, the 500%, every time that he does an attack, or just every few minutes or so, he'll start spawning in these bullet turrets, which obviously are quite inconvenient if you don't take care of them quickly, because it's a lot of projectiles, as you can see. Okay, there we go, he's dead. He gives a ton of XP, because, you know, obviously he is the boss, but then it'll begin overtime mode, which is very chaotic, because this is sort of the max amount of actors I could have at once on screen without Unreal Engine just yelling at me, no, please don't do that, please don't do that. Okay, tornado spells. As you can see, the Flames of Disaster. You pick one of these, and tornado spells are kind of cool, because... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, the reason those are there, just in case you make a mistake like I did. Basically, tornado spells just create a small little gust of wind that'll go all over the place. So basically, it does a ton of damage to anything in its path, but it's also random because it keeps rotating. But it can be really useful. Probably gonna die. Yeah, tornado spells are the rarest ones to spawn in the game. As you can see, I'm struggling quite a bit with overtime. I'm trying to get to 30,000 points, because that's the final margin of thing. 50 points off! God damn it. My name for this can be Gal. So, as you can see, this time when I hit exit, there'll be a little button here. So if I decide to claim my reward, as you can see, it's a key. Whoa. So that hits me. Congratulations, you got the key. You can leave the store and be done with it. So if I were to go over there, which I will do in a second, it'll be the proper that's the proper endpoint for now. But there's also a few more rewards you get for having a high enough score. So one of them's a heart, which increases your max health. Which is would be very useful in the full game. Obviously, the health does nothing right now. This is just a superficial plush reward. It's just tiny. It's cute. It sits there. You turn him into a marketable plushie. You are secure. And hopefully, I crossed the point margin for the final reward. I did not. So I will have to try again. Luckily for me, these tornadoes are really good. So I will, yeah, if you try and select like a second beam, it just unselects the one that you put on. So best to not do that. Right, there we are. Oh, there's a bunch of XP hopes that lasted since last time. I've never seen that happen before, and they're supposed to delete. but I guess over time might have flooded it. Yeah, basically those tornadoes can just really wreak havoc if you use them wisely. Yeah, so the final point margin is 300% because that's when we consider that you've like 100% completed the game. Because hi. So my recording drive was full, so I'm having to re-record the last little bit of the segment. I've loaded up the Unreal Engine file for this game because you can't uncollect the collectibles. So if I want to show you the final collectible, I figured it would be easier instead of starting a brand new save file and trying to get to 30,000 points again, which is quite hard, and I am quite sad that my recording didn't catch that. I am just going to basically press this little button to unlock all spells, walk through what the tornadoes do because I'm pretty sure I didn't cover that. I don't think I covered, yeah, if you try and select more than one beam, it just deletes your selection and you'll have no spell in that slot. So we'll go with this for our build out. Basically what these, oh yeah, I need to press, what was it, U? Yeah. So that should spawn the boss. It's a little bit extra laggy because of the fact that it's, you know, damn. Okay, I may have made a small mistake. Sorry, I have like a little button that I'm about to delete in the code, but obviously as soon as you go over the limit on there, it'll just set it to a negative integer. So yeah, basically what I was going to say is the tornadoes, they move around, they spin, and they'll damage anything in their path. So I'll try and show that again. I'm just going to pick all fire spells, to be honest with you. This can be on E, this can be on left mouse. So basically, if I wait for an enemy to spawn, and then hit the button, when the tornado, if the tornado doesn't hit anything, it'll just keep going forever, obviously. Not forever, but for a pretty long time. Just quickly spawn the boss. What it is supposed to do here is just basically anything that gets in the way gets swept away. So it does quite a bit of damage. Obviously you need to be in the tornado for a long time for that to happen. Yeah, I just need the game to save my like save data. So obviously you just need to wait a little while for overtime and then just die basically. There's a few couple of cool things that I need to show off that are quite cool. There we go. Okay, boss is dead. Overtime's over. I just need to wait for the enemies to start spawning. Probably spawn faster if I just defeat that guy. Yeah, here we are. Alright, I'm just gonna stand in the middle of one of these beams to show how much damage they do. Because they do like quite a lot of damage. Yeah, this is what overtime is. Not sure if I properly captured this before the drive stopped recording, but overtime is pretty goddamn brutal. Obviously I'm just standing still and waiting to die because I'd quite like my high score saved, but for a high score to save it, you have to like actually die first. And looking back, I should have really implemented the keybind, but I don't fancy doing it again. So we're just gonna... There we go. Okay, so I can be ased. So basically now, when I hit out, I'll have to go through the rewards I already covered. So this is the key. The key will let you actually finish the game. So that's the one that you get for beating the boss. This is the heart. So you get your max health increased by 1. which you can see in the top UI. Next one is the little marketable plushie, which again I think I got. But the final one is the Golden Goblin, which is just Pubert colored gold hitting Gangnam Style. So congratulations, you have found the Golden Goblin. Press G in game to style on him. So if I make my way over to the shelves I mentioned previously, as you can see, these are all your collectibles. When you collect them, they'll appear on the shelf at the same time that they hit you. So you can just come over here, see which ones you've got, see how many are left based on, like, you know, the amount of shelves that are empty. But the Golden Goblin is very special. So I'll try and show off two separate things here at the same time, because there's two special conditions which change how the game plays. So first of all, if you hit play without any spells selected, you'll just get auto-locked into the, you get auto-locked into Pubert fist fighting everything, which makes the game harder, because, you know, you have to literally fist fight everybody. But now, because I've unlocked the Golden Goblin, I can press G, and it'll start up Gangnam Style. You can't do anything while you're in this mode. You can't turn the camera, but you can hit G again, and it will stop. And then continue your next time you wanted to. You are invincible during this mode, so it's more just for like a little bit of messing around than anything severe, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I could pull up the title screen, that would be nice. But basically, that's the full game. I hope, yes, I am still recording this time. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that this is good enough for the assignment. Bye. I also realized I forgot to show what the game looks like when you have the key. So if you have the key and interact with this door, plays this little animation, and then congrats, you beat the level in the demo, but have you collected all the prizes from Pubert's machine? And then it sends you back to the title screen. So yeah.